It wouldn't make sense though for the intro because we do the same intro on all the other videos.
Yeah, but I'll have to change it now.
Yeah, I guess.
Sometimes they just like don't see it, and then it's like, oh.
Once you get to a certain once we're so big that
Yeah.
once you get to a certain, it's raining there in New York. Look at this. That's a great swing. Dante.
What was that?
What happened?
I don't know.
Damn, this bro throws hard.
I'm gonna redo this.
That bro throws 98.
I don't know what that was. I didn't like it. It didn't let me undo it.
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. I had our goalies at 8 saves, Chris, at the end of the first period.
What's he got to get to?
20. 21, I think. I think it was 20 and a half. I think they bumped it down to 20 and a half.
It's not bad. What was the regular one?
24 and a half.
No, no,
There he is, Chris. Porter Jr., another assist. He's at 2.
I mean, the unfortunate part is I put it with rebounds and assists for Ant. That's the least likely that is.
Oh, shit. That's the one you put it with?
Yeah.
Damn.
I know. Oh.
So you got it now. Yeah, so
go. Potential.
Also, Freddie Freeman is raking the ball.
He just hit another home run.
2-run homer.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, if you took his... Wow. Okay.
That's nuts.
That's 3 straight games. That might be 4 straight games. No, because he hit the walk-off in the first game.
How is that possible for him to just hit a home run every game?
And he's been hurt, too. He has like a broken foot.
Well, yeah, he could barely run.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, who fucking cares?
You don't have to run if you...
Just jogging around the bases.
You ain't doing nothing.
Wow.
Good for him. That is incredible. Wow.
Somebody has like a plus 30,000 MVP ticket for
Him?
Freddie. Yeah.
Well, if they win this game, he should be the MVP. I don't see how you don't give it to him.
Even if they don't win this game, but they win the World Series.
Yeah, he should for sure be it.
I mean, he's the clear choice. There's no
Carry though.
Right.
Look at this shit. I mean, granted, that's right down the middle, but still, that
It's
is.
a little outside.
Christian Brown makes a bucket.
Here we go.
So what do you have him paired with?
10.5 points. He's one of my taco pairs.
What's up? The boys are back. It's a beautiful day here in Minnesota.
Beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Can't complain, can't complain. We are back live, coming at you.
We're to the point where we're getting requests to bring up the weather now.
It's kind of our staple thing. You know how everybody has like a thing? I feel like
Should that be our thing?
that's our thing. We're just weather people.
It's
It's supposed to rain though coming up. It's supposed to get nasty.
yeah, down and dirty. 80 degrees today.
Yeah.
40 degrees on Thursday.
And rain all next week and down in the mid 50s.
It's supposed to freeze on Thursday.
Yeah, it's not great. I don't like that. But either way.
With cold. Yeah, brutal.
Yeah, we don't like that.
But
we're here. It's been a great week.
it gives
Hope
you
you guys
good
are having a great
reason-
week.
It gives you a good reason to stay inside and watch football on Thursday. You got NBA going on. And that's really all you need.
You got football.
I suppose you
got,
hopefully you don't have to spend too much time outside trick-or-treating.
yeah, maybe you're a generous person and giving out candy.
But at least you get to stay
You
inside.
get the warmth. So here's a question for you. If you gave out candy at a house, would you dress up?
No.
Okay. I'm just curious.
Are you going to?
I am not, no.
Well,
And Alyssa's out of town, so I don't want any kids coming to our house.
unfortunately, that's the territory when you own a house.
I know. It's unfortunate, but
Or really
Yeah.
just live in a house.
yeah. It's kind of cool, though. It's fun, I guess. It'll be our first year doing it.
So you're giving out candy.
I'll give out candy. I'll get a bowl.
What kind of candy are you getting?
I'm a big...
Or giving out?
Are we saying, like, my favorite ones? Like, if I
No,
was a
you're-
kid, what do I want to get?
No, what candy are you giving out on Thursday?
Oh, just like the mini one, but it's like a mixed bag from, I think, Cub Food. So it's got, like, Snickers, it's got Reese's, Twix,
Okay, so the good
Butterfingers.
stuff.
Yeah, well, what... Yeah, wait. What do you think I would give out?
I don't know. There's
Pencils?
a lot
Notebooks?
of there's a lot of random like variety packs.
Yeah, there are. I like the ones... Well, here's the thing. I like the ones that if I'm going to nibble on them, I'm going to take a few.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get the good packs.
That's what you need.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
What would you say is your favorite Halloween candy?
Probably Reese's peanut butter cups.
Yeah, I would say Reese's up there. I do like a good Butterfinger once in a while. I don't know why.
Yeah,
Dude.
there's no shame in that.
When we used to live, this is getting way too long, but when we used to live together and we used to go to Culver's, Butterfinger, Reese's, Blizzard, or Concrete Mixer,
I still get that.
elite. I know we haven't gone to, we actually do have one right up the road, but we don't get it as much.
That's disappointing. I'm disappointed for you.
Meal deal, replace the drink, Concrete Mixer.
Yeah.
Tell me I'm wrong.
You're not wrong at all. You know you're not wrong.
Yeah, so anyways, hope you guys have a great Halloween. Give out the good candy,
Yep.
not the bad stuff.
You want kids to want to come back the following years.
Yeah, 100%. I will say, don't go too far. Don't give out the big size candy. You don't need to be those people.
Really?
Not us kids.
Okay.
You older generations, go for it.
Yeah.
You got it, but
okay.
See what happens. So,
alrighty. Well, with that, we're jumping into college.
College football is live. We not a ton has changed. Not a lot, really. I mean, the teams that were kind of supposed to win, I guess you could say, won. But the one notable game was LSU dropped 9 spots. They're kind of out of the top. What are they, number 16
now? Yep.
Yeah. So that was one of the teams that dropped. You also have Missouri's basically done. Illinois is pretty close, especially once Illinois loses to the Gophers this weekend. They'll be out of the top 25. So nothing really has changed. Washington State, 7-1. They're fun to watch.
Washington State bumping up. Yep.
They score a lot of points. Kind of a disappointing team. This is just a general rant. Disappointing team. Ole Miss has kind of been disappointing.
Yeah.
I thought they would score a lot more points than they do, and I understand that their one wide receiver has been hurt kind of a little bit here and there, but I was definitely expecting a lot more from them out of the gates, I guess you could say.
They probably could have won this last game against Oklahoma by a lot more.
Yeah, they just don't seem like they're pounding teams as much as they used to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they used to win by 40 and still be throwing the ball.
Well, they were playing terrible teams at the beginning of the year.
Correct. But I'm saying even, like, I feel like last year, even if they were playing this Oklahoma team, like, they would have been like, all right, we're up by 10. Let's go and get up by 15.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Or, 20, 30, so.
Yeah, it's not happening right now. I'm not exactly sure why, though.
No, not happening. I don't know if it is partially injuries. I don't know if it's...
It's literally one wide receiver.
Right, and he's elite, but I don't think it is.
Apparently, he has the highest target share of any wide receiver in the country. It's like
Really?
39% of the completions are going to him.
So if you took him out...
I guess that's not target share. The highest completion percentage going to him versus any other target on the team.
Really?
39% of the quarterback's completions are going to him.
So yeah, you would say he is a big deal.
Very big deal.
So, also another wide receiver that's probably up there, I don't know. I was watching their game on Friday night when they played Boise State. The UNLV wide receiver,
Not
Ricky
familiar.
White III, unbelievable.
His line's usually around 100 yards.
Yeah, he's electric.
Okay.
He's a catch the ball, dance, blow by you. And he's gone.
All right.
So, if anybody wants some good entertainment, UNLV, decent. But I will say this, big games this last weekend. What was my pick? Who did I pick? Army?
You did pick...
No,
you picked Navy.
Oh, my God.
You picked Navy against Notre Dame.
Brutal.
Bad pick.
Holy shnikes, they looked horrible. And I also will say this. They had 6 turnovers. I think 2 or 3 of them were dropped punts. Dropped punts.
It's not going to help.
If you can't field the punt, just get out of the way.
Just don't even go close to it.
Yeah, get out of the way. So...
Yeah, that was your pick. And what other... That was your dog.
That was my dog of the week.
Your dog of the week. Who was your
what was my lock of the week?
Best bet.
Oh, Ohio State, and they almost lost. I thought they were going to snap and they were going to destroy Nebraska, and they almost lost.
Yeah, their line was 25.
5.5.
And they didn't even score 25 points.
No. And I will say this, I don't know if it was, and I don't know if this is necessarily a thing, I think it's a thing, but it's like, you got your next week, your biggest game of your whole season against, well, you played Oregon, which is a big game, but now you go to Penn State.
Yep.
Maybe a look-ahead game, it wasn't taking them seriously, and almost lost.
It's possible.
So every game matters in college football.
I think, let's see, I had Indiana. That was my...
Indiana's a good team.
That was my lock of the week.
Over
Washington.
Yeah, new quarterback.
Yeah.
That was probably why the line was probably
But
closer.
Indiana at home. I mean,
Yeah.
they're undefeated for a
And
reason.
their defense is very
That was 7, I believe. 6.5 or 7.
Okay.
They won by 14.
14, yeah.
Who was my dog of the week? I think it was not a top 25 team.
So a true dog. Gotta go searching for him.
But I'm pretty sure they... Oh, it was Texas Tech.
Oh, against TCU?
Yes.
Didn't TCU win?
TCU did come back and win.
That was gross.
Texas Tech was down early, 14-3. Then they scored 28 points in the second and third quarters, 14 in each. And then they got outscored 14-3 in the fourth quarter, and they lost by 1 point.
So I will say this
That's
about
tough.
Texas Tech running back, very good. I think his name's like Tahi Brooks or something like that.
T. Brooks.
T. Brooks,
30
very good.
carries, 121 yards.
He is very good. TCU, their quarterback actually slings it.
Yeah.
He can sling it, and
Yep.
I don't know.
344 and 3.
Yeah, granted they were playing from behind after they were up.
Yep.
So, yeah, decent game. Texas Tech is a very good team. They're fun to watch. So
They are.
this week we already time to talk about it. Ohio State goes to Penn State.
Uh-huh.
We talked about this off air. So Oregon right now is the number 1 team in the nation.
Yep.
They're in the Big Ten, obviously, if people haven't noticed, but they're in the Big Ten.
First year.
If Penn State and Indiana both win out and go undefeated, Oregon is not in the Big Ten championship.
Correct, yeah. I saw a TikTok video of somebody explaining it. I'm sorry, I don't remember who it was, but they that's what they were explaining. Indiana, Oregon, and Indiana. Oh my god.
Doug, you just can't grab the ball out of his glove.
Like, and
He
then
does.
yeah.
The other guy's trying to tell him not to.
No, the other guy was trying to rip his hand away.
Anyways.
It was
something weird.
Indiana, Oregon, and Penn State. If they all go undefeated, which they can,
Yeah.
they all would have beaten Ohio State, which is kind of the one hurdle left for Indiana. But if that happens and they all are undefeated at the end of the regular season, Oregon, the number 1 team in the country, will not be in the college football playoff.
No, they won't be in the Big Ten championship.
Sorry, Big Ten.
They could be still in the college football playoff. They will not be in the Big Ten.
They would have to be, but
Yeah, they won't get the bye.
wouldn't get a bye.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah,
Mhm.
which is crazy.
Yeah, number 1 team in the country not getting to their conference championship.
That also just shows how elite the Big Ten is. I mean,
Yeah.
if I'm being honest,
You kind of hope that Indiana goes undefeated just to provide this storyline.
yeah, that's crazy. I mean, Indiana really does only have one more tough game.
It's Ohio State.
And I mean, Penn State has Ohio State, and then unfortunately you have to go to the Gophers, which is
It's
probably
true.
a little tougher, but compared to,
I'm pretty sure we beat them last.
well, we beat them, what was it, 2 or 3 years ago when it was
2 years ago.
Bateman
that
and
was
them?
awesome.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, maybe that was a few more years.
that was the upset.
No, we had maybe
Yep.
it was Bateman, but we
We
had
Tanner
Winfield.
Morgan. Yeah, Winfield
had that.
Jr. Did we have Tyler Johnson?
Maybe, I don't know.
We were elite back then. We were like 16 in the nation.
Maybe that was that many years ago. Huh.
Yeah.
Seems like it was just yesterday.
That was when Cowboy Jacks was a thing.
But the other big game this weekend,
Who do you got?
you know who it is?
Who is it?
Pittsburgh and Smoo.
Yeah, Pitt playing Syracuse was holy moly. Pitt looked defensively. What was it? Three pick sixes? I mean, he threw 6 interceptions or something.
For sure, too.
Yeah,
for sure,
it was. I mean,
I
yeah.
can't remember if it was 3.
And Pittsburgh's offense is fun to watch. I mean, their quarterback's good. Smoo is also a team I feel like that hasn't got the recognition
Yeah,
per se, but I do think they're a good team also.
but it's 2 of the 4 undefeated teams in the ACC, like ACC records.
Mhm.
It's 2 out of the 4 that have undefeated records, and the other 2 are Clemson and Miami.
Yeah, so 2 other that are elite programs.
But the thing is, if Smoo goes undefeated, if they win this game, the rest of their schedule is not that challenging.
No.
So it's very possible that they would be undefeated. I mean, they play Boston College, they play Virginia and Cal, who are all like decent teams,
Boston College was ranked at one point, but I don't think they're as good as they were.
And Cal, they almost beat Miami. So, like, this is not good.
No, he's really hurt. It's just the shoes, man. They're not protecting his ankles.
Yeah, they're the low ones. That's not great. And so, I mean, they play decent teams, but they should win all of those. If they beat Pitt, there's a very likely chance that they're undefeated going into the end of the regular season.
Yeah.
And, I mean...
Well, then you got Miami and you got...
you got Miami and Clemson. Miami doesn't play anybody too great.
No.
And Clemson doesn't really either. They play Pitt.
So they have to play at Pitt, which will be a tougher game. But besides that...
They have the hardest,
schedule
game coming up that's left.
Right.
So, I mean... We'll see. SMU has a chance.
SMU does have a chance.
I think Pitt probably has the least likely chance because they play SMU this week and then they still have to play Clemson.
They have the toughest schedule for sure.
Yeah. But got to start this week.
I mean, hey, if you want to win, you got to beat the best.
Louisville also isn't terrible, and Pitt has to go to.
Well, Louisville at one point was ranked in the top 22, and then I think they lost their next two.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're good. Their quarterback's slow. So they have Ja'Cory Brooks, who's an elite wide receiver.
Gotcha.
So they're a good team. Yeah, that's really all. I mean, there's not a ton of great games. Texas A&M at South Carolina is a little trippy, but Texas A&M just needs to find a quarterback.
South Carolina plays well at home, so that will make it closer.
Yeah, but still, if they find a quarterback, I don't see it happening either. So. Minnesota, home favorite, or away favorites at Illinois. Number 24, Illinois.
That's shocking.
Could take them out, yeah. Gophers have played well lately.
They have played well, but at the same time, Illinois is ranked in the top 25 for a reason.
Yeah, Illinois is a good team.
So,
we'll see what happens. That's really all I got for college football.
All right, not a whole lot. NFL then.
NFL, big news. A lot of big news, actually, if you want to be honest.
Okay.
You got Stephon Diggs, done for the year, torn ACL.
Big news on your fantasy team.
Yeah, well, and he was literally their best player with Nico Collins also hurt. So now it'll be interesting, the Texans offense.
Yep.
Be interesting to see what happens. But also, unfortunately, Christian Darrisaw injured.
Yes.
That's a hometown thing for the Vikes. And then, I mean, you have a few trades.
Luke is now hurt.
You have a few players that got traded, and unfortunately, didn't even jump. Oh yeah, he's done. You have a few players that got traded. So you got
the trade deadline is next Tuesday.
Yeah, so stuff's starting to happen. I mean, you start looking at these teams.
The next week, there's going to be some things that happen.
Yeah. Deontay Johnson to the Ravens.
Yep.
Kind of a big one. They also
Do you think that will make a big difference?
I actually think it hurts Deontay Johnson's stock. You have too many weapons on that team now. I mean, it's just hard. On the Panthers, Deontay Johnson was supposed to be the guy.
He was the guy.
When he was healthy, he was the guy. Now they're also potentially talking about the Panthers also getting rid of Adam Thielen once he comes back, or trading him. He was on the IR with a hamstring.
I mean, that makes sense. He's worthless.
He's worthless, but he's also, you just need to basically throw in the towel. Get rid of him. Get rid of everyone and just start over. The crazy thing is they got Deontay Johnson for a 5th round pick, and they gave up Deontay Johnson in a 6th round pick.
Correct.
That's wild to me.
Well, he's a guy on an expiring contract, so you might as well get something for him.
Yeah, I guess it's better than wait. Yeah, that's true.
You know.
Yeah, who's the other? Why can't I think of the other guy? Who else just got traded?
DeAndre Hopkins.
Oh, DeAndre Hopkins to the Chiefs. You had Devontae to the Jets, which really hasn't panned out as much. Oh my God. Which really hasn't panned out as much yet. I think they'll start clicking. I mean, the Jets might be the worst team that had such high expectations. They might be the worst team.
Yeah, they've had a tough time figuring it out lately.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers looks horrible.
The offense, just in general.
Just doesn't look. Breece Hall just not playing it to his high standard. I mean, he has games, but it's just tough. And then lastly, you got Anthony Richardson, also on my fantasy team for one more day. Well, actually, won't be on my fantasy team after
Wow.
Tuesday. I mean, I have
Calling
to
the
drop him.
shot.
I mean, he won't play. He got benched.
See you later.
Also, this is the one thing I will say about him that
See you later, Anthony Richardson.
is one of the things is he was a 4th overall pick
In the NFL draft.
in the NFL draft, right?
Yep.
4th overall pick. Have you ever seen a quarterback or whatever in a big time get situation? I guess you could say quarterback. That's his position. Come out of the game and tap himself out of the game because he's tired.
No, literally a quarterback just ever.
Right.
Yeah,
Literally.
No, never.
I feel like at this point you want to build, potentially if you're the Colts, build around him, but also at the same time,
He's not making it easy.
well, I think what's hard about it is the fact that he has to have lost the locker room. No one wants to play for a guy who's going to tap himself out. What was there, 10 seconds, 20 seconds? It was like their last possession.
No. Way more time than that.
Wasn't it at the way end of the game?
No. It was going into a 3rd down, but there was plenty of time left because then he came back in the next possession.
I thought it was one of the last few possessions.
No. It was like they punted it, I believe. Or they kicked a field goal. Whatever drive they kicked a field goal on.
Here?
Yeah. I think so. Keep going. Down. Right there. That was the play.
Oh, I thought it was way after that. I thought it was way in. So he tapped himself out of a 3rd down where it's 3rd and goal from the 20-yard line, and all you were going to do is hand off the ball anyways.
That's what happened, yeah.
That's insane to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's done. He stinks.
Now
So,
that's good.
I mean, I've just never seen it. I think it's one of those things. I'm not trying to dog him. I get it's a hard sport, but is your conditioning just that bad? You're a running quarterback.
Right.
Like, that's your part of your MO. That you can't throw a football.
Correct.
You were, what was his...
He's throwing like 30% right now. 30 or 40%, which is
10 of
easily
32.
worse.
I think he started the game out 2 of 15.
Correct.
I mean, yeah, dog, no offense. You deserve to get benched. Sorry. I don't really care. That's bad. So, I've never seen it. I've never seen that once in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But now I guess we can say we have seen it.
Yeah, it's been bad. It's been really bad.
Also, I will say this. This is the only thing I'm going to say. There has to be something now, this is my rant, with NFL referees in the game. Okay? I'm not only talking about the Vikings game.
Okay.
But the Vikings game, you blatantly miss I mean, I'm not saying we'd go down and drive. Like, we're still down 7. We'd have to go the whole distance. I get that. But you cannot end a football game on a safety where he clearly grabs the face mask. Like, somebody, somewhere, I don't know if it's in a booth or whatever, has to be like, all right, that was a clear call.
Mm-hmm.
Because I saw this was actually a great tweet from our good friend, Blake Primer, who we still owe a shirt to. Anyways, that's beyond the point. But Blake Primer, and he said what's crazy is when you're watching the football games, these referees miss or call these holding calls or call pass interferences or call these calls during the game that you then replay it and the announcers are like, oh, I didn't see anything on that play. That didn't look like a holding. So you call that, but you can't see clear as day. And then the refs come out and say, oh, hey, we didn't have a good angle. And there's literally 3 photos of different referees looking straight. He had the ball.
Right.
What are you looking at?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing that frustrated me the most is like, where are you looking? You literally have a guy watching the ball at all times. Like, you have to see that.
You should have somebody looking at it.
And or else something needs to happen. And then it was also the same thing in the end of at the end of the whatchamacallit game. Well, not the end of it, but close to the end with the Steelers-Giants on Monday night. They get a punt return touchdown. They run into the kicker, blatantly run into the kicker, and they don't call it. And it's like, that's literally the most obvious call.
Right.
Did you run into the kicker? Yes. Was it his plant leg? Or whatever. Yeah, it's either 5 yards or 15 yards.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. It's one of the two. But it's like, Jesus, Martha, do something. Figure out something or some way to make it right. You just can't end a game on a personal foul like that. You just can't. I'm sorry, you can't. That's bad.
Tough look.
Brutal. And, I don't have an ankle. Don't lie. You just missed it. Don't lie.
So,
they should be fine. They should be fine. I'm sorry.
Is that the best?
The best strategy is they should be reviewed just like other people are, and they should be like, okay, hey, you guys missed X amount of calls. I mean, you get it. You see it in MLB. These home plate umpires, they get like a sheet grade at the end of every game. It's like you hit 80% or 95%. You have to be a certain threshold, or you get taken out of big games. Like you don't umpire the World Series if you're not at a certain level. That's what it comes down to, the criteria.
Yeah, but this is just a week.
It's a game that could decide I'm just saying this, if a team loses or doesn't make the playoffs by 1 or 2 games, this is a deciding factor in my mind.
Yeah, it could be a deciding factor, but at the same time, it's a Thursday night game in week 8.
Those are the ones that matter. Should have won. We would have calmed down. We would have scored a touchdown. So either way, that's my rough rant. I mean, it's hard because you see all these plays too, where it's like, oh, a big run, holding every time.
Mm-hmm.
Now all of a sudden it's like, wait, you guys miss a clear face mask, a clear running into the kicker. But hey,
I actually learned what the illegal shift thing is and
why it happens. It seems like it's happened a lot more this year.
Yeah,
doesn't it? It seems like
well, it was a point of emphasis or something, whatever they call it.
Okay,
but
for them to call it this year?
I didn't realize that it is because apparently everybody on the offense has to be set for at least 1 second.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
And so a lot of the times that they're calling these illegal shifts is because what I thought was, because the Dolphins do it a lot, at least last year they did it, where they were going they would go to one side and then they'd start running to the other side in motion, and then they would say hike, and then they just continue their run, right?
It's almost like, what is it, arena football, when you get like a run?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, well then they said, no, you can't do that or whatever, But apparently everybody has to be set for at least 1 second. So that doesn't mean that you have to be set right before they say hike. Mm-hmm. You just have to be set for 1 second. So the reason why they're calling these illegal shifts is because when the wide receiver goes to one side, they don't stay there for 1 second. They don't get set for 1 second and then start their motion. And then they can still be in motion going across that way when hike is called.
Yeah.
They just have to be set for 1 second where they start before they go in motion. So that's why they're calling these illegal shifts, is because the wide receiver goes out to the left, doesn't get set for 1 second, and then they start their motion over to the other side, and then they say hike.
Interesting.
I learned that.
Isn't there also
something
that
in Monday Night Football?
Isn't there also something where
I had no idea.
Where if 2 players are moving at the same time, then everyone has to get reset back.
Yeah, because it's basically like they're coming out of the huddle.
Yeah. So if you start your play and you have everyone go get set, pause for 1 count, 2 count, and then you say, okay, one guy goes in motion. He can move as much as he wants.
He can keep going and then you can't start going towards the line.
You could just go horizontal.
But you can go horizontal, and then when they say hike, then you can be in motion and basically kind of curl it a little bit.
Interesting.
And have some momentum.
That's good to know. I mean, there has been a ton of illegal shifts.
As long as you were set at the beginning. So essentially, a way to avoid these illegal shifts is to just have everybody be intent on getting out of the huddle quick so that they can get set. Yeah. And now you can have somebody be in motion.
Yeah, as much as they want.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. So if you get set right away and say, okay, hey, here we go.
But the wide receivers are kind of lollygagging their way out of the huddle, and then they don't get set over there, so they just start jogging over there because they know they're going to be in motion. So it's like, well, I don't want to sprint out there, get set, and use all my energy there. Yeah. And so then they're like, all right, well, I'll just start going over there, don't get set, go over in motion, and then that's where the penalty comes.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I also think there is one thing I have noticed a lot more, and I understand that play calling is very complex, but the amount of times that it's they break the huddle with 6 seconds left on the play clock, it's okay, nothing's going to happen.
I haven't seen that.
Oh my God, it's unbelievable. There's something. The Giants did it on Monday night 10 times. It's just call an easier play.
That's not a recipe for success.
Right. Also, last weekend, if anybody forgot to celebrate, it was National Tight End Day.
Yep. The league did not forget to celebrate.
The league did not forget to celebrate, and either did the tight ends.
Yeah.
There was 12 tight ends.
More.
No, it said 12. 12 tight ends.
I thought there was more.
12 tight ends that scored a touchdown.
was it, week 8?
Yeah, week 8. Don't do 2023.
$177 receptions, 16 touchdowns. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Did you say 12?
Uh-huh. I was going to have you name them, but you just looked at it.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, wildness. I mean, Kyle Pitts had 2.
Yeah.
Kadon had 2, so there's your extra few there. But
Nate Adkins just random.
that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of randoms.
But a lot of the main
But
guys.
a lot of the main guys, too,
George
yeah.
Kittle, Travis Kelce.
Which was crazy. It was like a lot of
Sam
these guys, like
Laporta.
Travis Kelce and Sam Laporta, have been
Mark Andrews.
irrelevant, kind of.
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts has been bad, too, and he scored twice.
Yeah.
So it's like, dang, if you would have parlayed all these tight ends.
I was trying to.
Woo! Yeah. So,
What a day. What
National
a
Tight End Day.
celebration.
Don't forget it next year.
Apparently, yeah. Next year, look that up early.
Look it up.
What is it? Always week 8? Or
I think it's a date. It's
Okay.
closer to a